I'm supposed to ask here, Jordy, does this make the crown jewel stuff too predictable when it comes to Seth? But Heyman getting honest with Rollins in the first place, just thinking about that, even with what I saw last night, I don't think Heyman's ever gotten honest or been honest with anybody. So what was said last night, I don't know how much finger quotes honesty was involved in that. Jordy, talk to me about that. But do you also think that it slightly telegraphs the finish here when it comes to Crown Jewel in Perth? That's the question.
No more so than I already thought it was telegraphed, right? Like, I didn't kind of think Cody was going to win this one for multiple reasons. I think it makes sense for Seth to win it for the vision. I think it makes sense for Seth to win it for the Cody versus Seth record. I think it'd be more effective for us to see a kind of a crack in Cody's armor. And yeah, I think once again, it'll be shenanigans. And I think that's the whole I have to win by any means necessary. When they showed the video package last night, they were talking about how Seth, in particular, actually was talking about how Roman and the Bloodline suffocated WWE and how he needed to stop that because the group wouldn't have that much power. Yeah, look at him. Here he is. 6 months later? Well, no, probably longer than that. I don't know. Time escapes me. But anyway, he's doing the same thing, right? And I think he's knowledgeable of that. And I think he knows that's what he has to do to guarantee this win against Cody. And it's a decision of whether I become the thing that I wanted to destroy or whether I just fight and try and beat the guy that I just seem to not be able to beat. But now Heyman kind of dropping this on him. But you're right. We don't know. We don't trust Heyman. Like, you just can't. You can't trust Paul Heyman. Cody said it to Braun, I think, didn't he? Like a couple of weeks ago, when he was like,
"Yeah,
I grew up with these people. I grew up with bookers, and I've always been able to figure them out. Everyone's always been able to figure each other out, apart from this guy. Like this guy, nobody ever knows where his loyalties lie." And then Cody said to Braun, "Well, I can guarantee where they don't lie is with you," which I thought was brilliant because, like, when you look at all the people that Paul Heyman has double crossed and betrayed over the years, and then you're like, does he really care about Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker? No, he cares about Paul Heyman. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me. But yeah, I like that they've added this little caveat because now every near fall in that match is gonna feel like much more. It feels like it's got much more on the line than just a ring and a new fancy belt, you know?
I think that's the entire key, is that what we're not talking about is what's up with the ring, what's up with the once a year belt, doesn't get to carry it, doesn't mean anything, all of that. No, this is added meaning. And that's the brilliance of Paul Heyman when we look at it third party, right? If we're looking at it inside the lens of the storyline itself, like you mentioned, Heyman's never been honest in his life. This is cracked me up from Fernando. Heyman makes Pinocchio the most honest human on earth. That got me good. And then we got Ben Davis here with this was the injection the Seth Heyman duo needed. Something was missing, and that's what we needed. And then the Grifter podcast here with Cody loses, Clark will be a happy dude. Yes, sir, I will. No doubt about it. I'm hoping for it. Doesn't matter how it happens. But Mary, I do also want to get your thoughts on this subject because look, Paul Heyman was the key cog in the vision in the first place. Changed everything when it came to night one of WrestleMania. It was the start of the storyline. It's cyclical for Paul Heyman at this point, right? He sort of makes his move, bounces around, and all of that. And there's something to be said about that. Do you, though, also back to the original question, just when it comes to the predictability, do you think this made things too predictable? Or are you kind of in agreement with, I would honestly say, me, Jordy, and what it seems like the majority of the viewers are saying, that it makes a lot of sense in that it injects a new lifeline into the Vision storyline?
I think it sure does, because Heyman actually showing a little bit of the truth, like he just threw a little splash of it, like a little reality check to Seth. And for this match to just kind of be, not to be mean, a champion versus champion match, it, like Jordy said, it gives it a little bit of a shock value to where Seth goes for that pin and that kick out. We're going to get the reaction that I think that they were looking for. And I think Seth has to pull it off somehow. Is it clean? Well, I don't know. It's never really clean with the Vision.
That's so true. Yeah, I'm with you. And I said it earlier in the week as my take of the week on the Wrestling Republic podcast. Cheap plug for myself there. But my take of the week was that this is an absolute must win for Seth Rollins. At this stage, if he takes one more loss to Cody Rhodes, how do we ever tell a story about Seth versus Cody again?
Has he at any point said, I need to do this on my own. You will stay back here?
No, and that's the good news.
Yeah, like surely, like that's wrestling 101, right? Like if that is gonna happen, we see a dramatic backstage scene where they go, "Yeah, we're gonna have you back," and he goes, "No, you stay back here for this one."
Yes,
I need to do this on my own, and we have not seen that. I was thinking last night we might see it, but we still haven't. So I think he's gonna bloodline his way to the top, which is so ironic.
Which I love.
Given it's
actually.
Seth Rollins. Yeah, me too.
Does
Yeah,
exactly what he fought against during the finishing of the story.
with
That
Paul
is a beautiful
next
thing,
to him as
Jordy.
well.
That is. I'm really glad you brought that up too. That makes, because that is like sort of that serendipitous full circle type thing. Like he became what he didn't want to be. Right.
And then you actually start to look at the question: was Roman Reigns that good, or is it always been Paul Heyman?
Right.
Is it always Paul Heyman? Is that the thing, the correlation, the common denominator in all of this? It's Paul Heyman.
I know this is an American sports reference, Jordy, but I think you'll appreciate it. It kind of takes me back to the days where the debate was, is it Tom Brady or is it Bill Belichick? And those questions seem to have been answered the last few years. And it was Tom, right? But that dominated the NFL landscape as far as especially off-season fodder and things to talk about when they're not necessarily playing the games, right? For many years, and I love the idea of setting us up something similar there. Was it always Paul Heyman, or was it always Roman? Was it always Seth? Any of them? Even you can almost go with it back to Brock.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, back to Punk. Like, literally, like as far as like. Do you know what I mean? Like, who was the longest reigning champ before Roman? Well, one of them. Punk had a very long reign in a time where people weren't really having long reigns. So, like, Heyman has been this factor throughout WWE history since he was the competition, you know. So.
Absolutely. We've got a comment here really quick. Jeremy Orloff with, I feel Seth was in his head until Heyman got brutally honest with him. Yeah, I think that's kind of, we're on the same page there, right? Like, that's what happens. Like, to your point, Jordy, it almost felt like they tiptoed along the lines of Seth getting to a point where he did the I'm doing this on my own thing because he was so obsessed. And then Heyman sort of talked him out of it. And that's what injects even further into this.
I think that's why he's staring at the watch as well. I think that's why he's constantly staring at the watch, because he's thinking, like, I got given this to take down what I'm about to become.
I said, though, in this match, what I would love to see is stomp the watch.
Yeah, stomp the watch. Yeah,
stomp the watch.
Stomp Cody's head
or
into
just
the watch.
hit him
ideally.
really hard
or hit him with break the watch in some way.
Yeah,
two for two.
Yeah,
make Cody bleed with the watch.
What we need to see, and the other thing is, it's probably really hard to crack a face of a Rolex. I've never done it personally.
Oh yeah, get a fake one. Don't be doing it to the real one.
Figure it out so that the visual of the cracked face, the watch looks, whatever that is, WWE. I'm asking you. I'm begging you.
Make a prop.
Figure out so that the watch looks destroyed.
Yeah.
Even if it is the real one, figure out a way to break it